up the club. I've got 4 nominees for you guys on people in sports and what they look like. How do you feel about this, Mike? Mozgov looks like a lazy roommate in the movie that is always either sleeping or eating food that doesn't belong to him.
That is good. That is good.
Mozgov looks like the mob henchman who doesn't have the heart to kill someone, so he tells them to just leave the city.
Not as good.
Steve Kerr looks like the guy who brushes his teeth in the work bathroom.
That is excellent.
Leandro.
great.
Leandro.
Sorry, man.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah, okay. Leandro Barbosa looks like a meerkat. Yes, that's really good. That's good. Open up. We've got 4 new ones for you. Rank them 1 to 10 here, 10 being the greatest grade you could give. Brad Stevens looks like the hotshot sales rep pacing the office floor in his Bluetooth headset and casually swinging a golf club, loudly preaching to his customers about how he's letting them in on an exclusive deal.
1.
Wow. Hidu Turkoglu looks like the captain of a giant wooden vessel who immediately upon docking at port is now keenly interested in trading an exotic cocktail of herbs and potions for 2 of your finest animal skins.
7.
Barry Melrose looks like the former gladiator who won his freedom and now runs a gladiator ring of his own in a backwater town.
10.
Mark Stein looks like the child actor who never landed a role after puberty.
11.
Philip Rivers looks like the guy who admires his shots at the driving range and then gives it the Tiger Woods club twirl after each swing and perhaps holsters it.
Also pees in the shower.
Tony Reale, flag football player trying way too hard and constantly telling teammates to calm down while he talks bleep to opponents and the referees. Reale is actually that guy.
Yeah.
That's not, he looks like that guy. He is that guy. Eric Spoelstra, middle manager at a car dealership, disheartened the owner's son was promoted before him.
I can see that.
Good. Yeah. How do you feel about John Daly as a sink peer?
It's going to be the same kind of creature that's a sink peer every time,
I
right?
think he's like a pants peer.
Yeah, you're right.
That
Nailed
too.
it.
He's also that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Sloan looks like the local government official who stops by a construction site in a black Lincoln Town Car, steps out, and while adjusting his pants, demands to see, quote, whoever the hell is in charge of this circus. David Blatt, chess champion and grandmaster, constantly being pitted against supercomputers.
That's excellent.
Mike Smith looks like someone who pats himself down while looking for a pen and then asks you to borrow one. Lane Kiffin, fraternity president with the cable knit sweater wrapped around his shoulders, driving the convertible yellow Porsche his father, the hedge fund manager, pays for while picking up the woman of your dreams, who he is openly, blatantly cheating on. And while you stare slack-jawed as she jumps into the car, they drive away. He hits you with a wink and the finger gun. The finger gun slowly turns over and reveals a middle finger.
It could have just been the last part. I think that's a longest entry.
It is. It's very long.
It's good though, man.
Like it could have just closed with what it ended with.
Tim Floyd of UTEP looks like he gambled away everything and his one last redemption is riding on this game. Jim Gruden? John Gruden? Jay Gruden?
Uh-huh.
A Gruden looks like the high school sex ed teacher who explains everything in way too much graphic detail, but still uses the phrase pee-pee. No, I don't know which Gruden we're talking about that.
Just critiquing that one, it's probably Jay.
Tim Kirkchin, the guy who, when he sees snow falling, sticks out his tongue to catch a single snowflake.
I want to believe that one. I believe that one to be true.
Ed Orgeron, barbecue pitmaster, constantly wiping sweat from his face while explaining his secret barbecue recipe is Cajun love, brother.
They're just doing the accent there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Randy Whitman, grandfather who rubs his grandson's gums with whiskey to keep him from crying during the game.
I feel like Randy Whitman looks like he's got everything riding on this one last game.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Gives
Okay,
off
no.
to you degenerate desperation? Really?
I don't know how he's pulled off what he's got going now, because he doesn't look like a winning head coach either.
Mike Pettin, the guy on the bowling team who objects to playing with the pornographic playing cards.
Yeah.
That's good.
Bowling team.
Really?
Yeah.
Kyle Korver, Abercrombie employee who asks you if you'd like to sample this cologne?
No, too easy.
Nah, yeah, that's too easy.
Bring it stronger.
Bruce Arians looks like he owns a bowling ball named Killer.
Also, a guy that looks like he has everything riding on this one last game.
You
Yeah,
really?
that's better. I
Bruce
looked up Randy
Arians,
Whitman.
Rick?
That's not good. Yeah, Whitman, you're dead on with Arians there, but not Whitman.
Your construction zone. Remember the construction zone we created where we had Brady Hoke eating a bag of donuts. Jay Glazer was whistling inappropriate comments at a woman who was walking by. Who else was there? There was Buster Olney was holding the stop sign, directing traffic. Dave Wanstedt was the foreman, or was Bill Cowler
Project manager. Project manager.
yeah. Jimmy Johnson was the investor coming in, tanned investor coming in to check on his property.
I want to walk past this place.
So do I.
Who was it? Was it Saragusa or Richie Incognito who was wandering out of the porta potty, warning people to not go in there?
It's incognito.
It's incognito. Yeah, it's not very good.
In the construction zone, I got a Mike Golick. He's in a sewage drain, and he's yelling, "I need more light down here."
Perfect. Yes.
I like this one right here. Brett Bielema looks like he'd nickname himself Mr. Saturday Night and then get really upset when his friends don't call him that.
It's a Vegas thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a Vegas cocktail waitress wife, huh?
I like this one, too. Randy Johnson looks like he runs a bar in a small town, and when you ask for a beer, he looks at you really judgingly and mutters, "You're not from around here, are you?"
Probably too tall.
Yeah, but facial. Yes,
Facial,
you're
yes.
right. He is too tall because he's be hitting his head on the glasses above and stuff, yeah. PJ Carlissimo is the Geiger counter reader on the remote island who's the first to know some sort of catastrophe is coming to the mainland, but he can't get anyone to listen to him because they think he's a kook. And the Kenny Mayne looks like the grown-up version of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. He looks like Calvin all grown up. Chris Carter looks like the evil fish in animated movies that ends up sharing an emotional tale and is ultimately forgiven. Adam Silver, distinguished concert pianist on court-mandated benefit show that stops and shushes the audience every time someone coughs. I like this one. Jeremy Shockey looks like Ed Hardy has started making people. I would slide that in for Kentucky right now. That's pretty funny. I mean, that's pretty good. Does Mike Smith, the former Falcons coach, look like someone who pats himself down looking for a pen and then asks you for a pen? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good.
much so.
Mm-hmm. Joey Crawford look like the blackjack dealer who comes in to destroy your mojo when you're on the best run of your life? I like those doubles, though, like the Kevin McHale, Nick Faldo one, because Chuck Pagano is the frustrated customer at Best Buy because the Best Buy employee is flirting with a hot girl, and that employee, of course, is Jervis Vasquez. Or is it Grievous Vasquez?
Grievous.
Urban Meyer looks like a model for shoes you don't wear socks with.
That is very good.
Mike Breen, old-fashioned sidewalk ice cream vendor. Who serves kids scoops of vanilla while making passes at their mothers. Wait a minute! You've crossed the line! Now, see, this would be funny under other circumstances. We got this 2 weeks ago. Chuck Pagano looks like he's helplessly watching his house and all his worldly possessions burn to the ground. Less funny because of what happened to Ron Rivera today.
Too soon.
This is good. Quinn Snyder looks like he's going to kill the guy who stole his invention.
Did you see the Quinn Snyder death stare from over the weekend?
That one's really good. That one needs to be in our tournament. Joe Camel's face does look phallic in nature. That's true. Andrew Luck, author and recluse, who writes anti-government manifestos. That Quinn Snyder one is amazing.
Yeah, it might be the best one we've got.
He absolutely looks like somebody in the movies who's just insane with fury because someone stole his invention. Gone. So that's
Colin Coward looks like the guy in movies who borrows money from the mafia but can't pay it back.
God.
He looks like that. He absolutely looks like
You're
that.
right. In fact,
Frank Kaminsky looks like he just woke up from a long nap and is now looking for a sandwich. Kaminsky does look like that, doesn't he?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Also, lots of skin on his face.
Yeah.
Chris Kamen looks like the butler of a haunted mansion. Joey Crawford looks like an animated turtle walking around without his shell. Rick Carlisle looks like a prisoner in an antiquated mental hospital who's had experimental procedures done on his brain.
Oh, my goodness.
And Brad Stevens looks like the hotshot sales rep pacing the office floor in his Bluetooth headset and casually swinging a golf club, loudly preaching to his customers about how he's letting them in on an exclusive deal.